In my business, it doesn't work like that. I'm carrying all the stuff and I'm making the guy follow me with nothing in his hands.
Yeah.
I'm ordering my equipment in January for this winter.
Blind,
completely blind. The snow removal business is a young man's game. Business is one or the other. You're gonna go, you're either gonna make money or you're gonna learn.
Always catch me off guard when nobody sings, but I get it. I understand, man. How young are you?
23 years old.
You're a baby, man. You're a kid.
Like, I really wanted to jam a good tune for you, but I just couldn't really think of anything.
What, nothing at all? Do you listen to any music at all?
Yeah, I listen to, a lot of hip hop, R&B, a little bit of Drake, old school rap.
So there's nothing in the vault right now that can you hum or anything like that? Nothing.
No, I decided
You're getting a pass because you drove. How long was the drive?
Drive was, well, the thing is I went to North Bay to pick up some of that equipment that I had on the back of my trailer. So it was 4 hours to North Bay, 4.5, I think. No. Yeah, 4.5, 5, somewhere in there. It was between 4 and 5 or something like that. Got to North Bay, loaded up on the trailer, and then it was about 3 hours and 45 minutes to Oakville here in Toronto.
So what were you hauling there? You were mentioning just off mic.
They were just some ramp racks for our mowing setup this upcoming spring. Yeah.
So we're gonna talk snow plowing. We're gonna talk winter. We're gonna talk all kinds of stuff.
Snow's our beast.
Yeah.
We do roofing as well. We used to do landscaping back in the day.
Yeah, I saw some of that. You don't touch it anymore?
No.
You don't want to deal with it?
You know what? We had a good run with it. Back home in Sault Ste. Marie, the economy there is great in some ways, but for the landscaping niche in particular, we wanted to bring the hardscape approach. Here in Oakville, I see everybody's got concrete jungles in their front and backyard.
Pretty much.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Back home, we wanted to really bring that to Sault Ste. Marie, and it was very hard. It was next to impossible to find
Nobody
customers.
wanted it? Clients?
Well, nobody wants to pay 40, 50, 60, 70, 100 grand for a backyard oasis. It's
do it here in a blink of an eye, man.
Yeah, here in a blink of an eye, but back home in Sault Ste. Marie, no. Nobody puts time and money into their landscapes. I mean, there's some people with gorgeous landscapes, but I would say maybe one for every 1,000,
And it's not worth your while, right?
No.
I'm going to get into it. I got to share all your deeds. So Stephano Narducci's here, Northern Snow Inc., and it's www.northernsnow.ca. And on IG, it's northernsnow.inc., right?
Yes.
And
follow me personally too. Yes.
You want me to shout out the number?
For
your number. Anybody wants to reach out?
Yeah. 705-992-8222. That's our business line. Give us a call anytime if you have any questions. I'm always available to answer anyone's questions.
Cool. And then thank you so much for this.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Everyone knows that I'm not a huge trucker guy, cap guy, but I do like worn in caps. So thanks you for that. I do want to shout out to Chris from Dr. Granite. I'm wearing his tee today. I always wear someone else's tee on the show, as most people know. We're going to talk about snow, and I want to figure out how long you've been in the game now.
So this is our 4th year. Actually.
So you started at 19?
Yeah, I started at 19. So it's our 4th year in real deal business. It is the 5th, but I don't count the first because we had 16 to 25, almost 30 contracts, and it just wasn't that really big of an operation. It wasn't, we weren't incorporated. We are lucky if we even broke even. We probably lost money.
So you and Nicholas started at the same time?
Yes.
At 19, is he
same age as me?
Same age.
Yeah.
Where's your mindset at 19 years old thinking I'm going to get into snow plowing?
Well, it started with landscaping, right?
Yeah.
So 6 months to 8 months prior to that, June, it would have been June of 2019. So like I said, 6 months before winter was about to start. I just was sick and tired of, working for other people. I got kicked out of high school in grade 12, left high school, went to a booklet school, where basically, I don't know if you're familiar with booklet school, but
what's that all about?
It's pretty much if you get, kicked out of high school or you leave high school, you got to go to, it's pretty much a lower grade of schooling.
Can I ask why you got kicked out?
I got kicked out.
Listen, I've done my fair share of stuff, right? But
I got kicked out for just not being obedient, just kind of running my own show, listening to my own rules.
Good.
Quite like how I can't really work for anyone else. I didn't listen. I did what I wanted to, and it got me kicked out of the school. I mean, there's a story behind it, but
it's not, but you probably look back on it and not think it's a negative.
No, I don't
You
think it was
can't.
negative at all. I see a ton of teachers from back in the day, and like I caused them so much grief. Like I definitely stressed out my fair share of teachers. And they see me now, and they're just so happy for me, and they always congratulate me.
Good.
They got a big smile on their face, so it feels incredible, to be honest.
But then so you get out of there, and then you go to the other school. You take care of schooling.
So
now, business wise,
yeah, I'll explain to you how that went. So we have a booklet school right down the road from St. Mary's College back home. That was my high school. So when I left in grade 12, I just walked right from St. Mary's College down the road to this booklet school called Prince Charles. And just to give you kind of a summary of what a booklet school is, it's pretty much just schooling for the troubled. Like for people who have a hard time sitting in class, might be anxious, have anxiety, depression, can't be in an environment around people, or guys like me who just don't want to listen or don't want to go to school, right? Okay. So that was my scenario. I didn't have, depression or anxiety. I just hated school. I hated listening to other people. So I went there, walked down the road. It was funny because the principal there was my old principal at the original high school I went to, which I also pretty much got kicked out of as well. I got pushed out. So I went to Cora Collegiate in grade 9. They pushed me over to St. Mary's College. I was there from 10 to 12. When I walked in at Prince Charles, I seen him there, and he said, "Hey, Stephano, it's good to see you." 3 years later, right, from grade 9. I told him, I was like, "Hey, St. Mary's College isn't working out for me. Like, would you mind taking me on here at the booklet school?" He's like, "Yeah, no problem. You can start tomorrow." Signed a couple of papers, and I was at the new school. And to give you kind of a summary of how that school works in terms of like classroom setting and workflow and whatnot, if you don't want to be there, you could take your work home and go. So I took advantage of that.
Makes sense.
I took advantage of that. And why it's called booklet school is each like credit you have to get, you do in booklets. Okay. So there's not too much teaching going on. Like it's really, it's locally developed learning. So it's like a very, very easy level of learning. So it's just booklets, bunch of multiple choice questions, very simple projects that you could do. And I just always told them, "Hey, I don't want to be here. I don't feel comfortable being here." I'd take all my booklets. I'd go home. My brother was very, very talented in school, which I wasn't. So I used him as leverage, and I said, "Hey, will you complete these booklets for me if I pay you?" So I pretty much paid my way out of grade 12, got like my 8 or 16 credits because I failed a couple credits on the way up to grade 12. And he did all my schooling for me, $10 a booklet. And, for it was like maybe $500 to $1,000, I paid him over a year. He completed all my credits for me, and I graduated.
Then you're done. But you were basically just doing the graduation just to get the paperwork out of the way. You're probably at that point really hungry to get into business.
I honestly, if I could go back in time, I wish I would have never graduated. And I know that sounds crazy. I just like the diploma means nothing. It means absolutely nothing.
I agree with you. I
did it for my parents, but the thing is like my parents were so supportive. Being old school Italians, all they know is work, right? Like a lot of them, I should say. Some are more strategic than others, have built great businesses, but my parents were very loving, and they just told me, "Stephano, if you're working, we're happy." So the high school diploma, I guess, was just kind of for me to feel fulfilled that like, hey, all my friends have it, I have it, and just kind of something to check off my list. School teachers were pushing for it, principals were pushing for it. Everybody's like, "Get your diploma, Stephano, get your diploma." And yeah, like I said, if I could go back in time, I would have just...
I never needed to actually use it to use it for credibility to get advanced. And when I did post, I never even used that. I never had a need to actually show it to get advanced, right? Mm-hmm. And I get it. I understand that a lot of people kind of rely on that, but I think today's landscape is completely different, man. You don't necessarily, the experience and the value that you bring and the skills that you create, the life that you start living, that has more value in my opinion, right?
Absolutely.
So I'm just saying, I guess back in my day when I was your age, the joke was like, stay in school, kid, stay in school, kid. Mm-hmm. Like just stay. But there was never a reason why you should stay in school.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think you come across as a kind of individual that has that entrepreneurial kind of spirit that you wanted to try something else. You were ready for the next step. You didn't need to get authorization to do the next step.
Absolutely. And my parents were very encouraging of that. I told them, I was like, "Hey, I'm paying my brother to do these booklets. I'm not going to school. I'm going to work full time." And that's what I did. So in grade 12, all my friends are going to high school. They're at the old high school, St. Mary's College. And I was just working full time at a car wash rental place. And
you're like, what?
It was
16?
sorry, it wasn't a car wash place. It was a rental, like a car rental place. But
Yeah.
I would wash the cars.
Yeah, I did that for a summer.
And clean them all up. So I did that for like 6 months. Then I worked at a bakery. That was hell.
I've done that.
Then after the bakery, I worked at an electronics store, Best Buy.
Okay, I never did that.
And when I worked Best Buy during the day, I would go serve at night at a restaurant. Actually, one of my favorite restaurants in Sault Ste. Marie, it's Antico's. I think it stands for ancient in Italian, Antico. Okay. Anyways, and I was just pretty much working long hours and long days and just making money and paying my brother to do booklets and kind of finding my way in life, you know. And then I got into construction. So
that was the hardscaping. No, started with landscaping.
No, I'm going to tell you how I haven't even got to when I started business. I decided to go and work for a good friend of mine, his construction company. He builds homes, he does development, etc. And I lasted 4 days. And it wasn't because of my work ethic. I had work ethic. I could work like a mule. I could work long hours. But I was just very disrespected being in this work environment. It wasn't my style. You know, everybody was just very different than me. You know what I mean?
Negative?
Yeah, very negative. Like not abusive, but just like, you know, always, you know, insulting or just like not being kind. Like there was no leadership. There was no motivation there. It was just like, grab my tools, follow me. Grab this stack of wood, carry it from here to over there. And I was like, guys, I came here to learn. Like I want to learn how to build.
You wanted a purpose.
I wanted a purpose there. I didn't want to just carry wood around all day like a slave. And I did that for 4 days straight. They would make me carry lumber from like one end of the school, because it was a development at a school, all the way to the other, drop it there, and then the next day they'd make me take it and bring it all the way back. They were just fucking with me.
Just screwing.
I don't know if we're allowed to swear on
here. You're totally allowed to
okay,
swear.
good. Because
so they were just fucking around. That's all it was, right?
They were just screwing with me, and it really pissed me off. And then my last day there, they were just playing a joke. I mean, I was taking it seriously. Like I actually wanted to learn how to start building. Like I was really interested in it.
Was the majority of the trades that were on that project not really caring about
framing.
the work?
Like I was like,
you
that's
were
what
framing,
I. That's
but the
what
rest of the guys there, were they caring about what they were doing, or was it just a paycheck?
It was just a joke, man. It was just a joke. It was just a paycheck. It was ran like an absolute disaster. There was no leadership going on there at all. I was there to learn. I was there to pick up a trade. You know, I was taking it seriously.
Big company.
Semi-big.
Okay.
I'm not going to disclose names.
Don't share it. But I just I figure if they get a contract like that,
semi-big. You know, it's a developing company back home for custom homes as well as developments, I guess, if you will. Yeah, and you know, it was just the guys who worked there. The way they treated me, it was so shitty. That 4 days was just absolutely horrible. It made me so pissed off. That's why I started a business.
So that was your first impression of construction?
My first impression of construction was, I got there, first day, the foreman looks at me. He's like, grab that, carry my tools, follow me. This guy didn't even have his belt on yet, like his tool belt on. He's dragging his ass into the building, and I'm carrying all this guy's tools like a dog. I'm fine with starting from the bottom. That's fine. But in my business, it doesn't work like that. I'm carrying all the stuff, and I'm making the guy follow me with nothing in his hands.
Yeah.
Because that's proper leadership. And it didn't make sense to me. So that was just right off the hop. I'm like, okay, whatever. I got to start from the bottom. It's fine. I'm okay with carrying his tools like he's the king. And then I told him, I was like, hey, I want to learn how to basically frame, and I want to be a Red Seal carpenter. That's why I'm here.
What was his response to that statement?
Yeah, no problem. You got to just start from the bottom. I said, okay, absolutely. I'll definitely do that. Until a few days later, I realized all they were doing was just playing games on me. So for 8 hours a day, they were making me carry lumber from one end of the school all the way to the other. And it was like
every day,
all day for 3 days straight. And then on the fourth day, that's when I lost it. I just snapped and I left. So the first day they made me carry like, I don't even know how much lumber.
Like a whole lift or something, or a few lifts?
Just imagine carrying lumber on your shoulder all day. I don't know how else to explain it.
Wow.
So I carried it from one end of the school to the other, put it there. Next day I came to work. So my second day there. They looked at me and they said, yeah, we weren't supposed to put that lumber there. You got to bring it all the way back. I was like, no way. Like, there's no way. Like, I actually carried, like, it felt like a room full.
And you did that a third day? On the third day?
No, second day, they made me carry all that lumber back. Okay?
And then on the third day?
I come to the third day. Third day, they were just making me do some, like, miscellaneous sweeping, and here, hold my tools and just basically watch them work, right? Just watch and learn pretty much. And maybe some other stuff happened. I can't quite remember. It was 4 years ago. And then on the fourth day, this is when I completely lost it. So, you know, when you're kind of like framing in a floor, I guess, if you will, and I'm not too oriented when it comes to carpentry, but there's basically like your walls,
joints,
right?
Yeah.
Like this, and there's joints, boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom, joints all across the floor. So there was this big, long, like 2x6 or whatever. I don't even know the dimensions of the chunk of wood. It was massive, and it was underneath the floor joist. And they all looked at me when I came back from lunch, and they said, "Okay, Stephano, what we have for you to do for the rest of the day is you got to get that board from underneath the floor joist out." Okay, I was like, no problem. I actually went just because I knew there was no possible way of actually getting it out underneath the floor joist, but I was just like, I'm going to try at least. And I looked at them after like 20 minutes of struggling with it. I said, "Guys, like, there's no way of doing it." They're like, "There is. You just got to keep trying." So after about an hour of screwing around trying to get this big chunk of wood from underneath the floor joist, I looked at them. I said, there's no possible way of getting that out. Like, why are you guys making me do this? And they all started hysterically laughing. Like, it was like a whole crew of men, just a bunch of fools. Honestly, just a bunch of fools. I hope they watch this. Just childs, just childs. And I just, left all my stuff where it was, and I walked out.
And that was the fourth day.
And then right after that, I had no job. And you got to remember, I was out of school. I worked like 3-4 different full-time jobs. I was exhausted. I was like, you know what? I've had way too many jobs over the last year.
Construction is not where you want to go?
No, I actually really liked it. So I'm going to get to what sparked me here. But yeah, I didn't want to work full-time for anyone else. So for about 2-3 weeks, I was kind of laying low at my house. And I was reading a couple books on entrepreneurship, and it was this one book that actually sparked me. It was called Crushing It by Gary Vee.
Yeah.
And it's a yellow book that he came out with back in it was 2018, and I was reading it in 2019. And I read that book, got about like halfway through it, and everything was going through my mind about that job site and working for that construction company. I was like, you know what? That business was ran so poorly. There was zero leadership. Nobody knew what they were doing. It was just
missing opportunities.
It was a gong show. And I was like, if somebody like that could own a business, I'm gonna go to the moon. I'm gonna go to the moon.
Yeah.
So I just decided to start with what I had. I went in my dad's shed, grabbed the rakes, grabbed all the landscape tools he had, grabbed his push mower, grabbed his weed whacker.
What are you, 18 now? You're 19?
19.
19
yeah.
now.
So this would have been going into June of 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have been, no, I was actually 18.
18?
Yeah, because I don't turn 19 till September.
Okay.
So this was June. So I was actually 18 at the time. I would have been turning 19 in September 18th. So, I grabbed all my dad's tools out of the shed. I told him, I was like, "Hey, Dad, you don't mind if I go and try and make some money with these tools?" Because I read the book called Crushing It by Gary Vee. That book was basically all around how to use social media to leverage getting business opportunity.
Yep.
And it really resonated with me. So what I decided to do is I went on to my computer. I had a beautiful MacBook that my parents bought me for school, and I was really fortunate of having that. And I went on there and got all set up with a logo on this logo maker website. I'm pretty sure it was called Wix. Made this. So
you were starting to build Northern at that time?
Yeah, it was called Northern Landscaping.
So the name came from what?
Honestly, I just hopped on a call with my good friend Nick. Nick's like my brother. Okay. And I told him, I was like, "Hey, man," he was working full time in the plant for his dad at that time. And I just told him, I was like, "Hey, brother, like, I'm going to start a business. Like, I want to start a business. I'm sick and tired of working for other people."
But you knew you wanted a partner?
Well, we are just like best friends, man. We were like always together throughout high school. We went through a lot of things. Same mindset, same people, same morals, same family. We were like straight up two brothers that grew up together, but just came from different moms, pretty much. I didn't meet him till I was about 15, but like we just like connected really strongly, and it just like felt like we knew each other our whole life type of deal. So what I decided to do was, like I said, hop on the computer, made a logo, made a slogan.
Still the same logo today?
No,
it's been revised?
No. The Northern Landscaping logo is completely gone. Yeah, it's completely gone. Maybe we could pop it up somehow in the video. I'll send it to her. Or something.
I know that it's on your IG, right? So it's
it's on my IG.
Earlier post, right?
Yeah, if you go to Northern Snow, it might be like way at the bottom of the Instagram page. But yeah, I made that on a logo maker right on the website, made a slogan. And because I read that book, it told me, to leverage social media to be able to get some business. And I did just that. I went on Kijiji, posted everything. I went on Facebook, posted everything. I boosted my post saying, hey, I'm a young landscaper at this age, taking care of, if you want your flower beds clean, if you want garbage cleaned to your backyard, you want your grass mowed, any sort of maintenance around your property, I'm your guy. And I plastered that logo, made an Instagram page, put it all over social media, and the phone just started ringing. It was that easy.
People started calling because they saw that.
Pretty much, exactly.
But how were you getting traction at that point? I guess this is like 4 years ago, or 4 years ago, four and a bit, and then you're just getting started, and you're just creating posts, and you're just doing paid posts, boost posts.
Yeah, boosted posts.
Okay, and then you're putting the parameters on who you want to reach, right? So you were looking for what, like homeowners?
Yes,
this kind of
homeowners from a certain age.
Yeah,
bracket. Because I knew that's what would work the best. I think the age bracket might have been like 25 to 65 or something like that.
And then
so majority of people, phone started ringing, DM started coming through the page, and had business on our hands. Yeah.
And they just wanted a quote at first, and then you would come in and then take care of
pretty much like
whatever you were selling at the time.
I'll be honest with you, I had no idea what I was fucking doing. Nothing. I didn't even have a clue.
You're new. You're wet behind the ears.
I was ambitious. I had a good grip on, I think, how business worked in my head. And like I said, I read that book. It gave me so much energy to just go and do my own thing. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to commit to this and figure the rest out later. And that was a lot of what I've done my whole life to get to the point where I'm at right now is, I just commit to a lot of things and then figure out the rest later. Now at the level we're at, you got to be a little bit more strategic because you could lose your ass quite easily.
Of course, but
in those younger days and stages of life, everything was all about that. I didn't know how to hardscape. I didn't know how to pour concrete. I didn't know how to lay brick. I didn't know how to run an excavator.
But you were learning as people were coming approaching you and they're asking for a scope. You were learning and understanding that there's an opportunity here and this is what I'll do, right?
Exactly.
But you were you paying attention, like were you and Nicholas paying attention to cause and effect? So you guys did something on social, you saw traction attached to it, and then you said, okay, that kind of works. But then you guys were probably trying other things as well too to see if that would work, and that wasn't working. But you were focusing on what was working.
I was focusing on what was working, but I was just generally landscaping, and whatever that entailed. If somebody wanted a walkway, I was just gonna go for it. And if I didn't know how to do it, I was gonna watch some YouTube videos on how to do it. Maybe call a guy I knew with basic experience to come help, and I did that, right? Like I said, I come from...
They were probably a lot more receptive than the jokers on the job site at the very beginning, right?
Exactly, yeah. Just good buddies I know that had maybe a little bit of landscaping experience. I said, hey, say I'm 2-3 months in at this point. Hey, I got somebody who wants like an interlock walkway. I'm like very overwhelmed. I was like, man, I don't even know where to start. Like watch a couple of YouTube videos, that semi helps, but somebody there with actual experience is going to be able to get the job done. And I always leveraged using people I knew, not like using them. Like I always, paid everybody well, treated them very well, but just to, use them for their expertise and learn from them. Absolutely. So, growing the business to where it is today was a big part of that from start to finish. Is like, you can't be the guy that thinks he knows everything and thinks he could do everything.
Because that guy doesn't exist.
Well, you're not going to grow a business that way.
No.
Yeah, the one-man show always remains the one-man show with a bunch of problems.
How did you, because I'm very curious on how you started crafting the customer relationship. Because dealing with customers and dealing with clients and dealing with what they're asking you for, that's a whole other world of learning, right? And that's not really all that expressed in Crushing It, right? Crushing is more about all the avenues that you can get to and look at opportunities, right? But he doesn't really dive too deep into just the handshake of dealing with people.
No, not so much. That book was more or less just like, hey, wake the fuck up.
Yeah.
You have free tools right at your fingertips.
Yeah.
Facebook, Kijiji, Snapchat, Instagram.
That's your word of mouth reach out there.
YouTube, any platform you could think of that's social media now, TikTok, there's so many different ones. And that book was basically like, hey, wake the fuck up. There's opportunity to make money. Okay. And you have tools at your fingertips for free to be able to advertise to people. what the fuck are you doing?
So there's no excuses.
There's no excuses at all. Like,
yeah.
There's zero excuses. I could say that today's generation in the world we live in today, there has never, ever, ever, ever been more opportunity to build a business, in my opinion. However, it's not easy, of course, right? There's so many people trying to start businesses.
Is it not easy because you think that there's just too many, the lake is small and there's way too many fish kind of mentality? Like people think there is, and that's not the case, right?
There's room for anyone to grow. Like
to come in a new idea, whatever, or a new version of an existing idea.
Yeah, like there's tons of room for anyone to grow. You know, you could have a 16, 17-year-old company, start a company and be successful with it, you know?
Yeah, we've seen it. I mean, it's totally possible. They're doing things differently.
Anything's possible. And you know what they leverage to start their business? Social media.
Yeah.
Like that's where all these people are stemming from, you know? You could make your business a powerhouse through social media.
So from the landscaping, you got into more hardscaping, and then at what point did you get into snow? At what point did you and Nick all of a sudden start thinking, let's go snow now?
So yeah, to give this some more backstory here. So when we got into business together and we were doing the landscaping over the summer, we were going back into fall, of course, right?
Okay.
My partner Nick didn't want to go to school at all. He really did not want to, but his parents were kind of pushing him to go
into post.
Yeah, to college, right? He was going to do business.
Okay.
And you know, he went for them to make him happy, but there was me, and I was like, well, you know, we had such a good summer landscaping. I don't want to go to school. I don't even have the requirements to go to school. I was down like all these credentials that I would have needed to go to business school with Nick, because I was, you know, thinking about that at one point. And he went off and I was kind of by myself. And I remember it was just like all my friends went to school. Everybody was starting their career. I wasn't getting any business in because it was kind of like, you know, fall time going into winter. And I was just like, I was beaten up, man. I was just like down, and I was like, how can I get back on my horse here and get back into business? This is the first year
when you got started?
This is the first year.
So this is the end of the first year season.
And end of the summer, yeah.
Yeah.
So like I said, we were full bore in June. Logo's out, social media's out, we're popping off. And then this would have been October time.
But now you're dealing with seasonal low.
Very big seasonal low. And like I wasn't depressed, because I've never been depressed, but I felt down. You know, I was nervous. It felt like everybody around me was going to be something, and then I was just going to end up being nothing. I don't know how to explain it. I just felt down. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck this. Like I'm going to do something very similar to landscaping. I'm going to start it the same way I did with using my dad's snowblower. Ask my dad, "Hey, Dad, can I use your snowblower?" And I'm going to go do residential driveways with a truck and trailer.
What did you charge for the first one?
First driveway?
Yeah.
Oh man, I used to drive house that was charging like $25-$30 to clean your driveway. I promise you, the first year was like learning. The first year was all learning, probably a little bit of money lost. Because I worked my whole life from like when I was 13 all the way to that age, I had a little bit of money in the bank. So like I seen money coming in. I thought I was making money, but I actually wasn't. I probably lost, you know, maybe a couple grand throughout that whole year of doing landscaping and snow removal.
Were you calculating like how much time you were spending being the salesperson and how much time you were spending being the actual labor doing the work? Were you trying to figure out what the total
I think I've done
was?
A healthy mix, but now over the last like 3 years, like ever since we've gotten to like 175 driveways and beyond, like, you know, I really focus on sales. I really focus on marketing. My heart really resides in that part of the business. I'm very goal driven, and always setting big targets for the team, but I just love sales and marketing. Like that's just like my bread and butter. Investing too, but sales and marketing is like, if I had to choose like down the road, once we become larger and larger and larger, that would be probably my two main focuses of the business is sales and marketing.
So how does, okay, so this is now you're 19. You're 19. You just turned 19.
I just turned 19, and I just got the walk behind snowblower from my dad. Nick's dad threw us a walk behind snowblower as well.
And Nick is at school, or Nick is
at school. Okay, he came in for the shifts that he was able to come in. So he was doing college, and he just kind of came in whenever he could. Right? He probably came for at least half the shifts, I would say, maybe even a little bit more.
Okay.
And then where I did the other half with my cousin, because my cousin lived with me. He's actually from Whitby, Ontario, not too far away.
Okay.
You know Whitby, right beside Oshawa and stuff.
Yeah.
And he lived with me, so he came and helped. And then my good buddy Spencer. Spencer Emlaw. He was like almost like an older brother to me when I was super young. He grew up right next door to me. Grew up in the west end of Sault Ste. Marie, and I live in a semi-house. He lived in the semi-house beside me. We shared a driveway. And yeah, he was just like my childhood older brother, and he came out and helped me snowblow.
So how do you, like, Stephano, how do you get from two walk behind snowblowers to like talk about your machinery? Because I mean, you've got a few toys now, right?
Yeah.
And they ain't small toys, man.
Yeah,
like you've got a yard, you've got a shop, you've got employees, you've got a team now. Like, how do you grow that in 4 years to get, well, it wasn't even 4 years to get to that point.
Yeah, like that to back from 2019 until now. Yeah, it's a little bit over 4 years, but yeah, I guess you could say 4 years.
How many toys you got?
36 tractors. We have. I'm trying to count. I'm trying to count trucks.
No, I love it. I just like it's not one or two.
No.
It's dozens, man.
Yeah.
Which is amazing that you have that you've grown to that point, right?
I'm trying to take I got to take a video of our fleet at the shop, like kind of like a shop tour. I haven't done that for YouTube yet, but I've been meaning to. I mean, yeah, we got like probably I think 6 or 7 work trucks and a bunch of trailers. We got a bunch of snow blowers.
How many employees now?
Including like the winter or like full time?
Full time.
Full-time employees, we have...
Yeah, because the winter you get a spike.
Yeah, we have seasonal, right?
Yeah.
Guys who come in to do seasonal work, they're on salary. They get paid every Friday, snow or no snow.
Yeah.
And they're seasonal. So total employees, it's about 45. And then once winter ends, we'll probably chunk down to, I'd say about 25. Yeah.
So how is it being a 23-year-old kid managing that group of people?
It feels
I don't
right.
mean to scare you, but you're responsible for their livelihoods now.
Yeah,
you know
I'm not scared at all.
You're providing income for them and their families, and they're looking towards you to grow themselves, right? Mm-hmm. That's big. That's big responsibility, man.
Mm-hmm. You know, I put the guys before myself. I have since day one. I think that was a big part of why I was able to grow the business to where it is now so quickly. I was always the type of guy I'm not lazy, but I would try and work smarter, not harder. So if like I knew there was somebody that had skills that was capable of doing something that I couldn't do, I would grab them right away and bring them on, right? Whether that be landscaping, whether that be roofing. Snow was kind of built a little bit differently, but I always try to leverage people with their skills and ability to be able to come work with us.
I mean, snow is it's a different breed of person that goes down that. Yeah. I mean, when the majority of people are cozy in their bed and they're going night for the day, like you guys are rolling out and just getting things started. Like you guys are going out in the dead of winter, the middle of the night, all kinds. You have responsibilities, so it's a different breed of person, man.
You know, I'm going to say this because I truly feel it. The snow removal business is a young man's game, especially the model I'm in. You know, I know there's some ambitious 50-year-olds out there that would look at me and be like, hey, I'll give you a run for your money, kid. Sure, you know what? You could probably work your ass off, but it's a young man's game. It's very difficult. It's high stress. It's very demanding. There's no time on your side. Predictability is out the door because you don't know what the weather's going to do, right? Yep. You have no control over it. And it's not something that's 365 days a year. So to get in the groove of it is always very difficult at the beginning of the season as well. It's probably... I mean, I haven't, done a bunch of other businesses, but as far as landscaping and roofing goes, snow is more difficult by like times 20.
I totally agree, man.
Like I can't even like explain it. You have to go through it and feel it, When you've been working for 4, 5, 6 days straight and you get an hour or two of sleep every single night, dealing with all the stress that comes with, having 36 pieces of equipment, having 45 guys running around and, watching things go very right, but also very wrong at the same time for days on end like that, it could eat you alive. You got to be a strong man. I just truly believe that.
No, I agree with you totally. And
people can say whatever you want. Hey, you're a 23-year-old kid. Well, hey, I'll hand you the torch. Okay, I'll hand you the torch for the week through a massive snowstorm up in Sault Ste. Marie. And I want to see how you do.
Yeah.
Because it takes balls.
Of course.
It does.
And you guys are getting a lot more snow. I mean, I also love on your website that you got a weather tracker, right?
Yeah, we got a weather tracker. We got a forecasting station.
But you also got a weather resource. So you're letting people know what November was like and we're
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
now in December.
Yeah.
So you're letting them know how the
dispatch
season.
logs.
Yeah, totally, man.
Yeah, we got our snow meter with how much snow is falling.
You're doing that consciously because you know that that's a sales tactic, right?
Yeah, man. Well, always trying to just provide the best service possible. Like I go above and beyond to be able to be known for having the best service and the best brand. You know, I've spent all my money doing that. You know what I mean?
Any clients look at you and go, "Young punks, why would I hire you?"
Sure.
That happens all the time.
But yeah, young punks, all you want. We come from a small town of 80,000 people. Like you got to, like if you look at us on the map, you have to go 7 hours north down the highway to hit the next biggest city, or you got to go 4 hours south to Sudbury. We are in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
Basically, we're surrounded by 3 Great Lakes. It snows like a motherfucker there. And
how much snow have you gotten already this season?
I don't know. Like
I think it's probably like 50 or 60
40 centimeters.
Yeah, centimeters,
maybe 50.
right? So
I have no idea. When it comes hard. And we live around the 3 Great Lakes. Like we get pelted.
it's just perfect.
And like the predictability where we are too is even worse because the lakes just brew up snow and just dump it on us. So it's like extra difficult where we are. I'm not using it as an excuse, but like, you know, up here is a little bit different for snow than where we are.
Yep.
We get triple, quadruple the amount you guys get. And I bet you that our predictability to be able to look at the forecast and say, hey, this is how much snow we're going to get is way off compared to you guys up here.
Does your business model, do you think it would work here in a more urban environment?
You know, I'd be interested in trying it in the future, but you know what? In my eyes, it would work, but I don't think the scale would be as big.
No, that's what you totally have to downsize it.
I got the hungry crowd.
Yeah.
I got the starving crowd.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
fine.
I mean, what I mean by starving crowd is like we get killed with snow. Everybody's looking for snow removal. Where here, you guys don't get killed, so you don't got the hungry crowd.
Yeah.
You know, my crowd's fucking starving
All the time.
all the time, man, because we get so much snow. So we need solutions, and the solutions for that is our residential snow company. Northern
How are
Snow.
you guys coming up with the pricing model? Because I know that you guys charge a certain rate seasonal. It's a seasonal rate.
Yeah, it's an
whether it
all-in-one
snows or
package.
doesn't snow. That's what you're paying,
It's
right?
an all-in-one package, brother.
Yeah, so that's just how it is. And like you said, your employees are getting paid regardless. It comes
Yep.
payday.
Yep.
If there was any work at that, like they could have been sitting around doing nothing at all,
like-
and they start getting paid.
They got paid yesterday, and we only went out once last week, and it was for like 4 hours for a quick touch-up pass, or like 3 days ago, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how are they like? How do you calculate that number to figure out your rates, knowing moving forward, right?
So when we came into the marketplace, we basically I looked at snow averages of like what Ottawa got, what Montreal got, and this business model comes from like Montreal. It's branched off into Ottawa. It's really, really big because Ottawa gets more snow than here. There's a couple guys doing it around these parts, but they haven't been successful with the scale, like I said, because there's no starving crowd. And anyways, I dived in deep to what they were pricing for their business, which is the same model we are using here in Sault Ste. Marie. And I looked, and a lot of them were like $475, and I was like, okay, if you're $475 for the season, let me
For a
run
single
some
car
numbers.
drive, right?
Yeah, single car, 2-car driveway, single you call it.
Yeah,
2-car driveway.
single lane, but 2-car. Yeah.
Yeah, fits 2 cars, right? And I was like, okay, so I did my math and seen how much they were charging. I think it was actually $425 or $400 or $450 back then. I don't remember what it was, somewhere in there. And I was like, okay, let me do the average snow that we get in Sault Ste. Marie versus the average snow that Ottawa or Montreal gets, and kind of price it off what they're doing and just charge it a little bit more because we're the only ones in the marketplace. So I did that, and I did it off actually Capital Services prices, and they're in Ottawa, big company. They do 9,000 driveways, 83 tractors. The owner, ex-owner now, because he sold it to the daughter, Jim McKenzie, is the inventor of the Pronovo Cyclone, that galvanized blower we have on the back of our tractors, nice galvanized blower. He invented that actually.
So he's on a beach right now.
Actually, you know what? He's got such a heart in the business. He's probably out doing snow with them whenever it snows.
Wow.
He's a tractor, motorhead, loves fabricating, loves welding. But yeah, anyways, I looked at their prices. I was like, okay, this is what they're charging for the entire season. Based on how much snow they get. I was like, okay, this is how much snow we get. I was like, okay, I found my happy medium. I was like, we'll charge $600 to start. First year was 600, second year was 625, third year was 650.
Easy to get the sales?
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah.
Really, huh?
Dude, so
were you second guessing maybe it was a little low?
No, because
it was fair.
It was fair because of the efficiency in the machinery we were using. So for a guy with a walk behind snowblower, for it to be profitable, you got to be charging like $800, $900. But because we had the tractors, I mean, yes, they cost more money, but you're doing driveways in 2 minutes versus 20.
It's like 2-3 passes, you're done.
Yeah, 2-3 passes and you're done. And obviously with the model that we brought there, having the snow stakes at the end of the driveway and all these marketing tactics we use and whatnot, we are able to get road density. Well, when you have road density, that's when you become profitable. So it was
those driveway pickets, like the markers. That's actually clever, man.
Yeah, well, it's a no brainer, and I don't even like just look at it, you know. Yeah.
But nobody else was doing that until you came up with it.
There was one other company doing it, but they were using the wrong equipment. And they were using the wrong business model. They had the wrong approach. They were using Ventrax.
Okay.
They only go about like 5-10 kilometers an hour down the road. You got to truck and trailer them to your location, unload them, and then go start doing driveways. The blower width's like 40 inches, 50 inches. Like I came in with these Kubota L6060s. They go 30 kilometers an hour. They had the 82-inch blower on the rear, and they're like mini hot rods, you know, and you could just drive from place to place to place to place with them. You didn't have to go truck and trailer and drop at a subdivision and then carry on doing your driveways. You could drive it from one end of the city to the other. So
you have your route. Once you have your sales, you have all your addresses.
First year actually getting serious in the model, we had 175 driveways with 3 tractors, 1 east, 1 west, 1 central. Each one had, you know, a little bit over, it was whatever 75 times 3 is. So roughly to reach 175. And it was quite successful. We did really well with it.
And then what are you doing like 4 years now into the game? How many clients you got going on seasonally now?
Right now we are at 3,250 and we got 36 machines. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's
and that's just you and Nick, just
me and Nick, we're partners.
Sales.
We got our operations manager, Mitchell. We got our shop manager, Eric. We got a couple other guys that are on salary that are a big part of the roofing company. They pretty much run it for us in the summer. They're pretty involved as well, putting in extra hours in the machines, doing dispatches and stuff like that.
Are you still doing the roofing?
Yeah, we're doing the roofing as well. And then we also have another big hand in the shop. His name's Andreas. So yeah, we got quite the team. We got 2 CSRs, customer service reps, if you will. Daniel Givens, and then also Josh that just joined us recently. Then we have our front desk lady as well, which is Nick's mom. Yeah, she's a sweetheart.
So who's taking care of? I guess you're maintaining all these machines over the period of the season, right? Plus off season as well.
Yeah. We do touch ups on the machines in the off season. You know, a little paint here, a little undercoat here. You know, fix this up, fix that up. We touch everything up.
I like the little trick with the shovel. Just mounting the shovel on the back.
Oh, did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. Right.
Yeah,
so I was like, that's a clever little trick.
We've done some innovating there quite a bit. I mean, we started with putting the shovel on the back of the blower, and now we've actually moved it to the inside, and we have different shovels. So we used to use tree spade shovels that we found on Amazon.
Yeah.
And now we got like these actual picks. They're like ice picks, made out of pure steel. They probably weigh like 20 pounds a piece, and we use those, and they're
a lot easier to break it up.
Oh, so much easier. It's a spear.
Yeah.
It's an ice spear. So
it's easy
when the throat's clogged, you just jam it in there and it just breaks everything up. Where the tree spade shovel was like kind of hard to maneuver in there. It was a little bit too large. It works. We still have it on quite a bit of our blowers. But we innovated there. We're always constantly innovating. Always, always, always. Like all these little things you see on our tractors, like there's some guys doing it, but there's a lot of guys not doing it. Like we got the fuel tank mounts. We have the double fuel tank mounts for the big tractors. What else do we got? We got the toolbox mounts that we put on some of the Kubotas as well.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
You know, and when we started, it was funny. We had the shovel in the back seat, right behind the seat, and we had our bag of tools, this big bag of tool behind the seat as well. And you know, I used to put stabilizer fluid in there, and all I would smell all shift is that damn stabilizer fluid just coming from the back seat.
You know exactly what it was. But Kubota, are they good salespeople? Their machines are good?
Kubota treats us like family.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know where to begin with them. Like I love that company to death. They brought me to their warehouse in Pickering. I don't know if you've seen it.
No, I haven't gone to it. Love to see it.
Oh, 75,000 square feet. Like,
wow.
Like the amount, it's Japanese inspired, of course, because it's a Japan company. It's just so gorgeous inside. It's so clean, so clean. Like you could go into their shop and it's just ran like military style. You could eat off the floor.
They get the end user.
Yeah.
They know where the machine needs to do and what and all kinds of stuff.
They brought me in like family. You know, they heard of the big order I was making. for this year. And they brought me to their warehouse twice for a full tour, took me out for lunch, gave me some incredible pricing, and just was like family. You know, they just opened their arms to us. And yeah, I'm loyal to Kubota. I don't see us going to any other brand. We're phasing out of John Deere. Nothing wrong with John Deere. Great
good
company.
machines.
Yeah, it's just I don't get that same support. And there's a lot more benefits with Kubota, and the price point's better, and the machine does the same thing. So why would I?
When are you ready to pull the trigger to start growing, whether it be in sales and then personnel, machinery? Like, you've set up now, right? So you're ready. And how much more work can you bring in seasonally? At that point, you're going to realize, hang on a sec, we need more people. We need a bigger shop.
With 36 machines?
Yeah.
Like how much bigger can we scale?
Yeah.
We could do 3,500 driveways max with 36 machines.
So you've done the data and you calculate and you go,
yes,
at that point we need to start expanding.
Yes. Like the thing is, and I've said this before plenty of times, in this business, you got to put the carriage in front of the horse. You know the saying, the horse pulls the carriage.
Yeah.
Or the cart, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
You got to put the carriage in front of the horse in this business, and you don't know how things are going to end up. When you're ordering your equipment, I'm ordering my equipment in January for this winter. Blind, completely blind. So it makes things very difficult, because if you buy too much equipment, you're fucked. You've
screwed. Made them money.
You've made them money, but now all your profit's gone.
Yeah.
Or in some cases, if you're really not that wise, you'll lose money. So when I was getting prepared for this upcoming winter, the goal was pretty much to do 3,000 plus. And I ordered enough equipment to do 4,000. Just cause why not? You know what I mean?
You probably saw the potential there that it might get to that point this season.
Well, so we went from 500 to 2,000. I know how many houses are in Sault Ste. Marie. I said 4,000 is going to be an absolute stretch. It probably won't be possible, but I know we'll land somewhere between 3 and 4. Somewhere in there we'll land. So I ordered more machines that I actually needed. I ended up grabbing the majority of them from my dealer, but I also left them with a good, I think 4 or 5 machines still left from my order that they're just going to give to me next year, because I bought so much. I kind of had that leverage there where I was like, hey, boys, I just bought 17, 18 machines. Like, I'm leaving 5 here. I'll get them later on in the season. I can't take them right now. If I get more contracts, I'll take them. And, it was a good tactic, because if I didn't order that many machines, I could have maybe fell short like I did every other year. But yeah, basically, putting the carriage in front of the horse is the same thing with route times. You don't know how long your guys are going to take. You have to go for the first, second, third, fourth snow event to see actually how things are going to unfold.
You got to plan the route, right?
Yeah. So when we went out for our first snow event, I was like, oh my God. I was like, we only got 3,000 driveways. We got 36 machines, basically. Like, we're so slow. And I had to get back to reality for a second and remember, like, okay, it's the first run of the season. It takes time. I know it takes time. Operators are getting to learn their machine. They're clogging, they're breaking pins. They got to learn how everything works, etc.
Are all the drivers giving you this feedback? Are they all contact?
Yeah, so we had 15 or so experienced operators. I call them senior operators from the year prior that came over, or 2 years prior that came over.
Yeah.
But then we had like 20 brand new operators. And that's what really causes a lot of a disaster at the beginning of the season. That's why you're really slow, is those 20 new operators are doing a large chunk of the city, a large chunk of your customers, but yet they've never even ran a machine. Yeah, we do practicing with them, but like the real practice don't come until the snow comes.
Yeah.
So you could have them run in circles around your yard all day long, put up pylons, lift your blower this way, move the chute this way, turn on your PTO on and off. They could practice for hours and hours. They could practice for 2 days straight.
Consuming fuel.
It might help a little bit, but when the real practice comes to play is when the snow comes. So yeah, anyways, we went out for our first event. I noticed that we were very long, and I started getting a pit in my stomach. I'm like, damn, man, I got 36 machines, only 3,000 driveways. I got more equipment than I could shake a stick at. Like, what the hell? Like, why are these guys taking so long? And I remember I was like, well, it's the beginning of the season. Then the second snow event, they shaved 30 minutes off all their routes. Like, as a whole, like as a team, we shaved 30 minutes off. Next time, shaved another 30 minutes off. Next time, shaved another 30 minutes off. We've been out 5 times already, going on our 6th. And by the 5th time, these guys had like 2 hours shaved off since the first snow event. And I know they're only going to keep getting quicker, right? So I was like, okay. And we were taking on more customers throughout that period as well, because it was a big snowstorm for like 4 days straight. It was about a week and a half ago. And, you know, we went from 3,000 to 3,050 to 3,100, 3,150 to 3,200. And these guys are getting quicker at the same time. So I was like, okay, now I could see this through a crystal ball. Just when we wrapped up our show last week there, I took a look around and I was like, you know what? The 36 machines, we just did 3,250 driveways in roughly 5.5 hours. That's exceptionally well. I'm very happy with that.
That's
so
fast,
I
man.
know those guys are only going to get quicker too, because I think like 4 or 5 of those operators are brand new too for that last pass, like brand new. So I was like, you know what? We're only going to get quicker, and we could probably chunk this down to like, I would say we'd be able to do 3,500 driveways in 5 hours once the team is like fully experienced and ready to go. So give us like 4 or 5 more snow events and we'll be able to crush our routes in 5 hours, 3,500 driveways.
How do you train the staff to get out of the gate at that speed instead of having that ramp up getting out of the gate?
Like, what do you mean by that?
Well, how do you get them to the 2 hour where they can shave all that time? Why is it taking the crew? I guess they got to get their feet wet, right? So,
yeah. It's just the inexperience, right? So what costs you a lot of time is when those brand new operators go out for their first snow event, they are by themselves on their own route. And what happens is they'll blow a pin. Okay, well, I got to go change my shear pin and PTO pin. And like even myself, my first time changing my pins, I probably took like fucking 20 minutes. You don't even know where to start. It's so simple, but you're unexperienced.
Yeah.
Now I'll go change a PTO pin in 30 seconds flat. Turn the machine off, move the shaft, throw a pin in, gone. Right? So there's stuff like that causes them time. They're obviously nervous, so they're moving like a turtle. If they clog their blower, they could be there for an upwards of 30, 45 minutes because they don't know how to unclog it properly.
Yeah.
And we do all this training, but how do you do this training with no snow? The videos only go so far. So we have these videos. Our training is like to a T. Like our training is like, we're going to get better. I know ways of getting better, but for what it was, it couldn't have been better this year than anything else. Like we put everything we had on the table to make sure our training was, pristine. We did a good job, but still, it still costs you, man. These guys need to feel it. They need to actually go through it to learn.
Is the turnaround a lot? Like, I mean, are you getting a lot of people who come in?
I think we turned
season?
around since the first snow event till now. I think we turned around 4 guys.
Okay, that's not that bad.
Yeah, not bad. Honestly, we got a team of 36 guys operating. Like I said, we have some other staff, office, shop, etc. Man, we got dogs. We got dogs.
Like, is your business nowadays? I guess it's just go. Like, it's not an 8-hour day nowadays, right?
No, hell no.
It can't be.
Man,
for 6 months, or even more than 6 months, like 6 months or so, you're probably going up to 7 or 8 months of the year. It's like long hour days, man. No?
I can't even remember the last time I worked an 8-hour day.
It doesn't exist in you guys.
No, like 12s are normal. And then when I actually feel like I got some shit done, it's like 16s,
You guys ever drive by driveways and then they have a heated driveway and you're just flipping them the bird?
Heated?
Yeah.
Oh, man, dude. What I tell you about Sault Ste. Marie, it's a
they don't have
economy.
it, right?
There's not one heated driveway in our whole town.
Not one, really?
Not one heated driveway in our hometown. Not one.
Wow.
There is one heated walkway, and he gets the driveway done by us. Okay. But his walkway's heated, and he's got this home is just gorgeous. It's probably.
Why didn't he do the drive?
I don't know. I asked myself the same question. I was like, man, your crib here is $2 million at least, maybe even more. I don't even know what the inside looks like, and for a $2 million home in Sault Ste. Marie is like a $10 million home in Oakville. Yeah. Like you got yourself a Scarface pad back in Sault Ste. Marie for $2 million, like a really nice home. And I was like, you got the walkway done. You got the spaceship of a house. Your walkway's heated, but you're getting us to do the driveway. It's only like a 4 or 5 car driveway. Why didn't you just get that heated? Like you already look at the house. Like just heat.
Did
the
you
driveway.
ask him or did he ever?
No. I would never ask him.
I'd be curious. It's got to be because it's very expensive at that size, right?
Well, here's the thing, right? Nobody does it in Sault Ste. Marie, so I imagine the price is probably 4 times what it would cost here, right?
Well, there's limitations when heated driveways. So if you're getting a lot of snowfall, sometimes it can't sustain melting it fast enough. So then you'll get accumulation, which means you'll have to clear it, right?
Okay, that's
what
the reason.
That's where it's thinking. That's my thought. That's what I've been told.
That's definitely the reason why he didn't do it then. He got the walkway done, and I've done the driveway a couple times through that storm we had a week and a half ago, and it was hilarious because it was like completely bare, and I was like, that's pretty cool, man. I don't know, walkways are dangerous, especially with the climates we have back home. So
Which, I mean, it brings me to like a lot of guys don't get into your business because of the insurance, right?
yeah, but we're rocking the gray area.
Why is that?
We're in residential.
Okay, so you don't have to deal. So you don't deal with any commercial.
We don't do commercial.
You're not going down that road. Huh?
We don't touch commercial. We just do residential.
So it's just at the homeowner's expense now. Well,
Everything's
not even that. There, it's just it's a relationship with the homeowner.
A lot of everything we do is on the homeowner. I mean, we're liable if we go through your garage.
Of course.
You know, we're liable.
But
if
once
we hit
you've
your
cleared
house.
it, right?
It's all on them.
It's all on
if
them.
they go into their driveway and slip and fall because of the hard pack, it's not on us.
It's actually a smart
It's
move.
actually still on them if we hop out of our machine and break our neck, going to like, unclog our blower, say we're in our driveway and we slip and fall in their driveway. It's still on them, believe it or not. Nothing to be proud about, of course, but like it's still on them. The insurance wouldn't cover that. So
you had no interest in getting into commercial then, which is a smart move.
No, never.
Because of that whole world, right?
Never even a thought. And with the amount of marketing and advertising I've done over the last 3-4 years here, the amount of commercial business that has came through the door and I just threw right out hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars of commercial work and just, hey,
But
sorry,
you're calculating
we don't do it.
the amount of possible liability attached to all that work.
No, I'm just not interested in doing it.
Yeah.
Like I'm just focused on one thing. Commercial is a completely different business. If I spreaded myself between commercial snow and residential from day one, I would have probably a couple hundred driveways, even more stressed out, and I'd have, maybe 10, 20 lots I'm doing commercial, and I'd be making way less money with way more headache. It's two different businesses.
It is, yeah.
It's two different businesses.
But you're understanding where your skills are needed.
Yeah.
You see the value going down this avenue instead of going down both avenues, since you've got the same machinery that's applicable to both avenues. But it doesn't make sense to use both of them.
Our machines are pretty much equipped and modified just to do residential. You would never do a commercial lot with them. It wouldn't be feasible. I mean, if you put a plow setup on the front, you could get into doing some smaller lots. But yeah, I'm just focused on doing one thing. I just put my whole heart and soul into the snow business the last, 3-4 years and grown it to what it is, right? Like I said, if I was focused on commercial, I don't even know where we'd be. We probably would have failed. I don't even know.
I love. Okay, I want to ask you one thing. Is what's with you and Nick in red chairs?
Red chairs?
What's with the red chair?
I don't know.
Where did that all come from?
We bought the red chairs when we were younger. Nick
because I mean the
bought them.
machines are not red, right? The machines are green, and so like
what do you mean, like just the red chairs? In
I just
office?
what's with the red chair? I looked at it, I saw it, and I was like, okay, what's the significance behind a red chair?
Red's just like a luxury color, man. Like when you're getting your sports car all souped up, what are you getting for interior? Red.
No, I get it.
You're getting red.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like my partner Nick picked those up. He loves the finer things, and he just got these nice red leather chairs for us, and that just is what it is. Yeah, I don't know. It's just.
I was just curious about it.
Yeah. There's no statement involved in that. There's no there's nothing there. It's just like. Red is one of the most luxury colors in the world. It's poppy, it's nice, and he got it just for aesthetic. They're not that comfortable, I'll be honest with you. They're really not. This chair is more comfortable, my God.
These are, I've never even paid attention. We just sit there and all of a sudden I've done
ergonomical?
shows for hours and hours and hours,
This
right?
is ergonomical? Or
Yeah, these are Herman, I think, right? So
these are Herman?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
As far as I know, because the guys here, they just said, no, we want to have comfortable chairs for the whole
Yeah, like
suite.
I would take this chair over mine any day of the
Really,
week.
yeah?
Yeah, my chair sucks.
So you could just go to Home Depot and get a can of spray paint in red and just red it, right?
No, you could probably get these in red. Yeah, I don't know. We have our whole office black and white, just like how maybe you might get the car painted black and then you open the door and it's red on the inside. Yeah. I don't know.
I thought it was maybe something happened or something, whatever, right? All the little trinkets in the studio, there's like a significance attached to each of them, right? So that's just, I was asking about that. But I'm also very impressed that you've spent the time and effort and probably a little bit of coin on the website, because if you got a client that wants to hire you guys, I think one visit to the website, it's sold already. You don't, like, you've done this. What was
your first impression when you looked at that website?
I'm sold. I want to know when these guys, it was clearly laid out. Everything I needed to know about you guys was there, right? And all the pricing options were there. And to be very honest, like, the weather tracking is better than Weather Channel. Like the Weather Channel is almost like, without pun intended, blanket of just like ideas of what's the weather going to be like.
Yeah.
You guys are more focused on what the weather is.
Yeah.
So that's why, so when I go to the website, it's there. So at that point, I just want to make a phone call to you and just confirm what I already know about this business. And I think that you probably spent a good amount of time and effort building that site and trying to figure out where the problems are in other snow removal businesses. And then you solved all those problems digitally.
Yeah.
That's what I see. That's how I looked at it, right?
Absolutely. You know, I looked at a bunch of different websites of people in the same business model, and basically
doesn't look like yours. I tell you that right now.
No, but I did look at others for perspective.
Yeah.
Like I didn't rip anyone off, but I looked at others for perspective, and I just made it way better. I mean, last year it was not the same website it is right now. The year before that, it wasn't the same website it is now, and the year before that, it was nothing great at all. We've probably, from start to finish, in terms of spend on website, we've probably put in $20,000 to $25,000 in that website. It's a fucking powerhouse.
Yeah,
it is. It's a powerhouse of a website.
But it's a major sales tool. Like it already sells your service before they even speak to you.
It's branded incredibly.
Yeah,
very well branded. It's on point with our marketing. It's on point with how our service works. It's simplified. It's so easy for the end user. All our forms are dialed in. We got all these bonuses, like you're saying, the forecasting, the dispatch logs, and all the above, FAQs. You could fill out our careers
But it's also
form.
the tracking too, so you know
the live tractor.
Yeah,
I forgot about that. That's
Yeah.
incredible. I don't even know how I could. We just put that in recently. That's why.
that makes so much sense. So if I'm a client, I already know when you guys are about to arrive on my location.
Yeah, you could see right where that tractor is en route coming to your house. And we also have the notifications that the customers get too. So we have GPSs in the tablet, and before we arrive to come clean your driveway, you actually get a notification 15 to 45 minutes before we get there saying, hey, we're on our way, move the car. We're coming to clean where your vehicle is parked, move your garbage cans, move any obstructions. We're hitting that driveway for a second time. You want to know the best part? We were already there. We cleaned in the middle of the night. We're coming for a second time. So, I mean, you know.
So that's what I'm saying, is that everything is there. It's already sold at that point, right?
You know, there's a lot of new things that we've brought into the industry of this business model, but a lot of it was kind of already there. You know, with the software we use, being able to leverage sending those notifications and routing and tablets and whatnot. I was definitely on the software in the earlier days, probably the 1 out of 100 people that were using it. However, it's growing very, very, very quick. A lot of people are getting into this business model because it works really well. It's the future of snow removal. It truly is.
Let me ask you this, though. Can you apply that to other trades, other businesses?
I mean, that would be
possible, right?
You could do it for cutting grass.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it for cutting grass. Like, I'm definitely going to, you know, remodel it so I could keep my same customer base 365. You know,
it makes sense. That's opportunity right there. You already got the clients.
It makes my head shake because I started with landscaping and cutting grass. I gave it up, did roofing instead, just to realize I was like, I'm in a business of reoccurring service. Okay. So customers don't come to me one time to build a home, or one time, well, they do for roofs, but one time for a landscape. I'm not interested in that. I like volume, I like reoccurring service, and I like lifetime value, LTV of a customer. And I want to see them come back year after year after year after year to spend money with us. So I did that on the winter side. It was very successful, of course. As you could see, our return rate of customers is through the roof. Last year we had 2,000 customers. I had like 1,935 of them returned. The rest either sold their home or, they died.
Yeah.
Because they were elderly.
Yeah.
Like, we almost returned every single customer over to us. And I was like, man, I need to figure out what the fuck I'm doing in the summer. Like, roofing's great in its own aspect, but like, my customer base that I have from the winter, springtime comes around, I was like, see you next fall. It doesn't make sense to me. You know, how can I keep them happy 365? I don't want them to go to other contractors for cutting lawns, and then that contractor poaches them over and says, hey, would you like snow too?
We'll do it.
So many guys in our marketplace tried to do that, but our snow service was just so superior. They all came back anyways over the last few years, even though they got grass cutting from another company. It's hilarious. So I was like, you know what? We gotta be providing property maintenance all year around here. This makes no sense. We have this huge customer base that we spent an arm and a leg on, okay, to acquire, and we have them in our holster. Why aren't we cross-selling them other services throughout our down season? What the fuck are we doing?
Kind of makes sense.
So it popped like a bubble
Yeah.
in my head. I went and paid a visit to a few people in the grass cutting industry. Actually, only one, but I plan on maybe seeing one or two other people, and they're running a business model quite similar to the one that we're going to be bringing to Sault Ste. Marie, and we're going to go to town with mowing lawns just like we do.
So you're tackling that come spring 2024?
Yeah, this spring. Yeah, this spring. We're going to be going hot and heavy into the mowing industry. And, just like how we came hot and heavy with the snow industry, we're going to give everybody a run for their money and then eventually just probably take market share. It's not just about coming in with the right equipment and the right tools. That's a huge point of it. But you got to be able to market and brand your ass off, and then you got to back it up with a superior service.
You're already doing that for half the season, for half the year.
Yeah. With mowing, I won't need to do that as bad because I already have such a trust built with my customers from the snow that being able to cross-sell them over to mowing and property maintenance is going to be like a walk in the park, right? So I'm super excited for that because I know that we'll at least get out of our 3,500 customers, which we're gunning towards. I know at least we'll get like probably 500 lawns to mow, maybe even more. So I'm getting prepared for that right now as we speak. During my downtime throughout this winter, I'm prepping for spring, and we got the ball quite ahead right now. So we're gonna go into the marketplace gunning. I'm probably not gonna spend as much money on advertising and marketing because there's no need to.
No, you already got a client base.
We already have our client base, so I'm gonna save a pile of money there. But branding is in my DNA. I love it. And marketing is something I'm very passionate about as well. So I'm gonna put just a little spice in there, just something. So
is your dad's driveway on the schedule?
My dad's?
Yeah.
My parents actually moved down to Whitby for
so they're not even there.
About a year and a half. They actually just moved back last week. I'll tell you the story. So my parents, I used to live with them a year and a half ago and throughout my whole childhood. And they moved to Whitby because my dad's a little bit sick. He's got some major health conditions. So he came down to Whitby because it's very close to Toronto, and my family's all from Whitby. I got all my Zias, my Zios,
everybody,
all my whole mom's side of the family lives in Whitby. So they came down for some, family support, help from the doctors. They diagnosed my dad with all the issues he has and basically said, hey, there's not much we could do, and sent him back home. So they just arrived back to Sault Ste. Marie about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. My nunno, he's 90 years old. My mom, and then my dad, and I moved them into this it's kind of like a single family home, rental units, and they're brand new. They were just built. They're the first person to move in, and we do the snow there. So yeah, we do. But their house they sold to me, and I live there now.
Nice.
Yeah, the house I grew up in since I was born.
Nice.
Yeah.
So keep it. I want to actually I want you to roll us out on a typical, I guess, northern day. I'm looking at it like you guys are kind of like Autobots roll out kind of thing, right?
My day, snow event day.
Yeah, like a snow event day, right?
Ooh, okay. So
everything's calm.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you see the tracker, you see snow coming in.
Okay, so
let's say snow's coming in the middle of the night now.
Are you saying how we get prepared to say if we were going out for a snow event tonight, at 2 a.m?
Yeah.
Okay, so first things first, we put our dispatch alert out into our group chat. So all the boys, we get them rallied up. We try to give them as much advance as possible so they're prepared. Say, hey boys, everybody at the shop for 1:45 a.m. I'm rustling everything I can to get together to stay organized before we go out.
How many hours before that do you call for a 1:45 a.m. roll call?
We usually call in the afternoon, anywhere between 12 and 6.
Oh, so you're giving them a good chunk of time.
Oh my gosh, yeah. We don't ever try and send a dispatch alert to our guys before 4 p.m. So we're trying to send it at noon to 4, anywhere in that bracket. We say, hey boys, snow's coming tonight. Be prepared. We're going out for 1:45 a.m. Be at the shop, and we're going to blow some snow. So basically what we're doing on the office end is my operations manager is running around, making sure all the guys are coming in, making sure who can't, who is, filling in spots for tractors. Shop manager is running around Eric like crazy, making sure all the tractors are ready to go. They are always ready to go, but I feel like every time the snow comes, there's just a couple little bells and whistles to still tighten up at the end. So he'll go do a once over, all the machines, make sure everything's functioning
on every
properly.
Single one.
Yeah, he'll do a once over. He'll start it, lift up the blower, check the hoses, pretty much much do a circle check. Just because we run our operation really tight. We're all over it. We're very organized. And he'll go through all the machines, him and Andreas. They'll make sure everything's good to go before we go out that night. Myself in the office and my partner will make sure all the business side is all taken care of and we're ready to go. My operations manager, Mitchell, will make sure all the routes are up to date because we sign people up throughout the day. So we got to make sure we route them on the map just before leaving for the night. We'll get everything organized, make sure the tablets are charged, make sure all the tractors are good to go. We head home. We wake up for 12, the main team, me, Nick, Eric, Andreas, Danny, my CSR, like the main big group of guys, 6 guys. We wake up for 12. We'll get to the shop for 12:30, and then we pretty much get the tractor started. We get the tablet started. We put on our TV, maybe any sort of notes or videos that we want to show the guys before going out if it's a particular snow event. And we watch the guys walk in and machine started. We hand them their tablet. They go in the machine and they go blow snow. Depending on how much snow we get, it's either a very easy snow event or it's a very difficult one. It's one or the other. Obviously, the more snow, the more problems, the harder it is, the longer it is. But we're adapting. We're getting quick.
What's the length? Like let's say
it could be anywhere. Like a snow event for us could be anywhere from 8 to 12 hours.
But at some point, if it continues to snow, then you gotta
shut it down. Like after 2 passes, we shut it down.
Okay.
Like we came and touched your driveway twice in 24 hours. No, actually, sometimes we're touching it 3 times in 24 hours. But we'll come and do your driveway twice. We'll shut it down, and then we'll come back out for either another 7 a.m. dispatch or a 2 a.m. dispatch. We used to kind of
the guys some space, some time, rest.
Yeah, they got to eat, they got to breathe. I mean, the main guys, when it's a big snowstorm, especially at the beginning of the season, when we're getting in the groove of things, all the main guys last week, most of them worked probably 22 hours a day.
Oh,
20 hours for 5 days straight.
Yeah.
Probably illegal. I shouldn't be saying that, but that's just what it took.
They had rests. They took breaks.
They took breaks. They had rest, but that's just what it took because
the snow kept on coming.
Snow kept on coming. It was the beginning of the season. We couldn't hire guys because the snow kept coming. We were short a couple guys, short a couple machines. A couple of our main people were out of town. One of our really skilled operators, 2 of our really skilled operators. And, I found myself, my partner, just in a machine pretty much start to finish. And then as soon as the phones were live, I was running in to do phone calls all day and support. So, yeah, it was, I'm not going to lie. Like I could endure and, I could endure a week like we had like that. But that was probably one of the most difficult weeks I've had in a very long time, if not the most difficult. But by like day 3, day 4, I was just smiling because we just got so much quicker.
You're in the groove.
We were dialed in.
Yeah.
The beginning was so hard. I'm like I was so discouraged. I'm like, these guys are taking so long. Our service blows ass right now. Like we should be getting this done way quicker because it's all about speed, man.
Are you getting some customers reaching out going, how come it's not done yet? Or
of course. I mean,
that's happening.
You got to think about it. We got 3,250 customers. How many of those customers you think are unrealistic? Like just a guess.
Good percentage, man.
Like what would you guess? Like
I would say at least a quarter.
So do the math. What is that?
I know that's
like
a lot.
500 plus.
That's a lot of people.
Right?
They're probably sending you an email.
So a lot of customers definitely are just asking, hey, when are you guys coming at the beginning of the season because we're a lot slower than usual. When are you guys coming? When are you guys coming? Are you guys coming? Yeah, fucking of course we're coming.
But they know that they can go online and see the tracker and they see where everything's going. But obviously they're probably looking for 36 trucks.
It's not enough for the elderly. The elderly don't go and do that. And you got to remember, we come from a town of our aging population is huge. It's like I think it's like around 50% of our city or something stupid like that. I don't know what it is, but we have a lot of elderly people, a lot of retirees, and they ain't going on the website. They're calling until somebody picks up 3, 4, 5 times.
True. Is it true that I just see these clients, they don't want to clear it because they want to go outside. They want to clear it because they just want to have their property maintained and cleared.
They got nothing better to do.
They're not going to go outside.
They got nothing better to do. They just want a peace of mind knowing it's done. Because back in their day, in their prime day, especially a man, because a man has so much pride in doing the driveway. I don't know why, but it's just it's a prideful thing.
I hate doing it. I'm serious.
Well, that's great that you hate doing it because a lot of those older men take a lot of pride in their driveway, especially those elderly Italians. I'm not making fun of anyone here. I mean, I'm full Italian, so I come from that background. They're nuts. Like a little bit of snow flies like this, they're already shoveling.
Oh yeah.
2 hours later, they're back shoveling again. And then when the snow's done, they got the broom out.
I know.
With the broom. You know what I mean? So
I'm just waiting for them to be in socks and sandals while they're sweeping the snow.
Man,
that's just how it is.
The
man.
the old school Europeans, like
there's no reasoning with them.
I love them to death, but they are so difficult to deal with as customers. We got them tamed now. All of our customers that are, elderly Europeans or just elderly as a whole, because we do have a lot in our city. We got them pretty well tamed. They have a lot of trust in us. They know we're coming and they leave us alone. But any new ones that sign up that haven't been with us yet, we have to train them.
Of course.
We have to train them.
But
this business is all about training the customers.
I know, that's how it is.
It's all about training.
What's your service area? How far do you guys go from your epicenter? How far can you go?
Kilometers. Well, I'm just thinking in terms of kilometers. I wonder how far it is from west all the way east. I don't know. I'm going to ballpark and say 20 to 25 kilometers from one end of the city to the other. Okay, so that's from west to east like that. And then you got your water right here, right? And that's Michigan because we live border city. So we don't go too far that way. And then up here is going north, which is, so I don't know. I'd say about this way we're from going like north, kind of south. It's kind of south-ish, east-south, if you will, or southwest actually. We're about, I'd say 15 kilometers. And then going from west to south, we're about 20, 25. I don't know. Like I did it on Google Earth. I did it on Google Earth once. I did the whole circular circumference in terms of kilometers. And it was about 55, 60. I don't know how accurate that is though. So.
But you're probably calculating the data on
Google Earth, square kilometer. I did.
How much bigger you can grow based on how much you want to grow the business.
No, we got it tapped. We're from end to end.
You're tapped.
We could go more west, but that's when you get closer to the airport. There's a lot of land. There's no density out there, right? The driveways are massive, and that's where the business model declines. This business model is about having cookie cutter driveways, being in the neighborhoods, and you're just
getting more clients in those areas that you're already servicing.
Yeah. So I'm not trying, like where we are right now, I don't want to expand anymore. We're at fourth line, going north, and then we're all the way to the water downtown that way. And then we're basically all the way from the highway that you would board to go to Toronto, all the way to the west end for the highway that you would board to go down to the airport. So we got the whole city covered, top to bottom. Like, I could push and go a little bit more outskirts, but then I'm killing the business model. Like I said, the business model is about route density. It's about having efficient driveways that you can do in a timely manner. And once you start getting to those outskirts, they're just behemoths. You're doing like football fields.
So you and Nick just looking at the actual map and seeing all the pins of all your clients and just trying to figure out, we should get more density in this area. We should get more density in this area. Like you're strategically planning
of course,
future sales that will benefit you greatly by being more density.
We did it this September, October, November, and we're still doing it right now.
So you're analyzing it that way.
Well, we send out cold outreach prospection letters. So basically what we'll do is we'll go on our software, we'll analyze driveways in neighborhoods where we're already dense. We don't know the person's name. We don't know the person's phone number. We just have their address. We build them a quote with a welcome letter. And put some other nice stuff in it, branded from our company, mail it out to them and say, hey, here's your price for the season. We'll attach a group discount in there saying, welcome to the neighborhood or whatever the case might be, neighborhood group discount.
Yeah.
We'll send it to their mailbox and then they'll end up calling and saying, hey, we want to sign up. So we've already been doing that. We target neighborhoods already that way.
What's your return on that?
I would say for every probably 1,000 mailboxes we hit, we'll probably get a return of like 50.
It's pretty good.
It's not all that great, but the thing is, you got to remember, it's a cold. Like you're calling somebody cold. Like how many customers do you think you would get if you went into the Yellow Pages phone book and called 1,000 people to sign up?
You'd get more that way. 100%
like
get more that way.
That's cold outreach is a lot more difficult. I
think you get phone calls, you just get 10. You get probably 10 to 20 at the max.
Probably,
most, right?
But the nice branded mail letter exclusively to that homeowner at their address with this beautiful welcome letter, giving them a discount because they're in a neighborhood that's already dense. And, they get the mailer. They walk out their front door. They see their neighbor with the pickets. They go later on social media. They see my meta ads through the roof. I'm spending lots of money on that. So they go scroll through Facebook and Instagram. They see all that. Then they drive down the road. They maybe hear our radio ad. Okay, then they go drive and they see our branded bus. Like it's the reminder just keeps coming.
Are you getting traction on the radio ads?
The radio ads were all good. We kind of stopped doing them this year. because they're not all that great.
Yeah, because you built the platform
radios.
on digital.
Radios are done, man.
Yeah.
I mean, the elderly are using it, so it was a good target for them. But we didn't find that the ROI was that great, so I just trashed that and put money more into Facebook and Instagram. That's where you get the most return. You know?
I wanted to ask you, Stephano, you got radios and all that?
Yeah, CB radios.
So
CM200.
do all your drivers, like when they're doing and the work is good and everyone's in the groove and everyone's just got like the vibe going on, everything's fine?
Yeah.
Is there a lot of chatter about climate change and ice age and shit like that going on the radio? Or no? Nobody's talking about that shit?
No. If you're talking about bullshit on the radio, we will fucking kill you. Okay?
I'm just picturing these guys talking about, reason why it's snowing so much.
No, 36 operators. You got to remember we're all in the same station.
Machine, right?
Yeah. We're all in the same station. So if somebody's talking about dumb shit on the radio, like, the main guys like myself or my partner or maybe operations manager or the shop manager, they're literally telling guys, shut the fuck up. Like you use the radio for things that are important. You're stuck in a ditch and nobody can help you. Maybe say it on the radio. Yeah. Or if you need fuel and there's a guy, a field supervisor that's close by, radio him in to come down to you. But like, don't be using it to say dumb shit.
Maybe driving out to the first one, they could start talking a little bit about climate change and ice age shit, right? So I don't know. Like, there's been a lot of talk lately about ice age happening. So,
yeah, I honestly don't.
I don't give a shit about it, right?
Yeah,
It's all garbage, right?
Yeah,
we're getting close to the end, man. I think I've covered a bunch of questions, and like nobody. I guess the biggest thing for me now is that nobody taught you this. You're self-taught, and same with Nick, right?
Yeah. Entrepreneurs, man.
That's all it is. You looked at opportunities in a segment of an industry and you capitalized on it.
Basically.
Bottom line.
Yeah, bottom line.
And then you I think perfected it. You figured out how to make the most amount of money for the least amount of effort that you're putting forward, but you're also growing the business too, right? Like this business is it's going to get consumed one day, no? You're not going to get an offer one day?
I don't know.
Is that a consideration?
Like I do know our future intentions. Maybe I'll save it for another podcast down the road. I know exactly what we're going to do with this business model with due time. And we're just perfecting things right now. We're getting our systems in place. Yeah. We're making it simple as possible. We're making it operationable. And, we're eventually planning to move forward, doing other things within this business model. Yeah. So we're just getting started. Like I
know you're just getting started. I mean, if you guys have already grown this much based on what you started with, I mean, that's why I was asking earlier on about how much bigger you can get. And do you want to really get that much bigger? Then you start playing with some big players out there that are probably fielding commercial and residential at the same time, right?
I don't want to touch commercial at all. My end goal pretty much as a whole is to just be the best all-around snow removal residential company in all of Canada, if we can. And be able to provide that service for the summer as well. Be a solution all year round for people's property management needs. Yeah. I won't get into too much detail in the summer side because I want to keep it simple. As you could tell, like we don't even do shoveling, we don't do salting, we don't do sanding, we just blow the driveway. And I'm going to make sure that we obviously use the right approach, going to the right places with this business to be able to really target hungry crowds that people want snow at, because that's where my heart is. That's where I really want to keep growing the business. And yeah. What's
with the because I didn't know this, gravel driveways?
Oh man, gravel driveways.
So you're talking about new construction, new build, and it's just
it's funny for you guys. Gravel driveways up here are all new constructs.
Yeah.
Right? Gravel driveways back home are normal homes that have been there for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 years.
Are they just replenishing the gravel?
It's the first thing I told you from the beginning. It's low economy, man.
Yeah. Okay.
People can't really afford. And I'm not, this is not against anyone in Sault Ste. Marie. Man, I have a gravel driveway. Tons of people do. But here, it's a staple. Like if you don't have a concrete, asphalt, or some sort of hard top driveway, interlock, stamped, whatever it may be, you're just the weird guy on the road. Or you just got a brand new home built and you haven't got it done yet. Yeah. Back home, people actually get gravel driveways. And they re-gravel them every 5-10 years, and they, get their pink crushed or their white crushed dolomite, or their, river, it's almost like small river stone or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So gravel driveways.
But that makes your life a lot harder now.
Yeah, it makes it a living hell.
Because now you're blowing gravel
everywhere,
shooting
everywhere.
So how do you handle that?
We have tactics to be able to approach the gravel driveways and kind of build a nice base of hard pack on them.
Okay.
Before we start servicing them, but it's inevitable. Like you got like a 6,000 pound machine, the blower weighs 2,000 pounds. With the down pressure, it's like maybe 2,500, and you're gonna pick up some gravel.
Of course you will.
But what we try and do is the beginning of the season, we let our customers know we're skipping gravel driveways for the first snow event, 2, maybe even 3 sometimes, depending. We wait for everything to get super cold, and we wait for that nice pack of hard pack on the driveway to establish itself. We tell customers, hey, we advise that you guys drive up and down your driveway. I hate having to do that, but there's no other way, right? We tried to drive up and down driveways for our customers. It didn't work too well with our tires. So we tell customers, drive up and down, get that base nice and packed, and then once there's a base, we'll go and service it. That's pretty much how we go about it.
But for the first little while, they're going to have to just shovel it themselves.
No, because if it's a significant snow event, we'll go clean it. We'll just lift the blower a little bit up off the ground and just clean it the best we can. But like, to give you an idea, our approach this year was our first snowfall was like 5 centimeters. So it was just a little 2 inches. Told the customers to pack it. Second snowfall was like 5 centimeters. They packed it. Third one was like a huge snowfall. It was like 15, 20, not huge, but a big one, right?
Yeah.
So that's when we were like, okay, there's still not a base, but we can't leave 15, 20 centimeters of snow in a customer's driveway, even though they're gravel. So we ended up doing them. Now, our approach was, okay, we're doing gravel driveways. Do not blow snow at the same time you're dragging. What you're going to do is turn your PTO off. You're going to back up to your garage door, back up to wherever you need to be, grab the snow and pull forward. And as you're gathering that snow and pulling it forward all the way to the end of the road, you're packing the snow that's in that barrel. As you're driving. It's packing and packing, packing, packing. So that method works really well for us. After we get our first big snowfall and there's been a minor base packed, we'll really go and build that good base by not blowing the snow, just dragging it all out to the road. And once we drag it all out to the road, we take one nice swipe, blow it in their front yard or their ditch, and away we go.
Then you could deal with it in the summertime when you start doing the lawn care.
You know what? And when we do that, we still blow gravel, and it's hard not to. Like I told you, we just go clean it all up in the spring. Man, we got 3,250 customers. I would say 1,000 of them are gravel. It could be more. I don't even know. Like 50% of our city is gravel.
I mean, there's a certain style for that kind of style of driveway. Like where it's
just common where we are. Everything's gravel. Like my whole street where I live in the West End is like, there's the odd interlocking driveway, probably an Italian living there. And the rest is just straight up gravel. Like I'm on a street with probably, I don't even know how many houses, probably like over 100 something, at least maybe 200 something. And it's all gravel. Everything's gravel. There's the odd asphalt driveway, the odd interlock, but it's like all gravel.
So what makes what's the official title? What are you guys like? You guys are not plowers, no. What do you guys?
We snowblow.
Snowblowers, right?
Yeah, we
drivers.
We blow snow.
That's what you guys. So what makes a good snowblower driver?
What makes a good operator?
Yeah,
somebody who could play video games.
Really?
I would say. Any guy who's been good at playing video games or has ever operated another piece of equipment, whether it be a skid steer, whether it be a loader, excavator, any sort of piece of equipment that somebody has touched before coming to work with us, they're usually quick. Or if there's a guy who's never touched a machine in his life, but yet he's deadly at playing video games,
he'll pick up that machine right away.
One of our best operators was a professional video game player on YouTube. And he kind of retired from that years ago. He's like, man, I've never driven a tractor. He's all nervous. Best operator.
Really?
This guy actually kills 150 driveways in 4 hours. He's on a kill spree like it's Call of Duty out there. I'm telling you, it's insane. He's our quickest operator for sure. Shout out Joe. You know,
he just picked it up right away.
Man, it was
nothing.
I've never seen an operator get that quick. We've had other operators like my operations manager, Mitchell. He doesn't operate anymore, but when he came over first year, he never drove a tractor either. He was nervous as fuck, but he's a really good video game player and he played video games his whole life. So he got in that machine and he picked it up really quick. He's deadly operator. Another guy, Danny, which is our customer service rep, huge video game player, hopped in that machine, got it figured out real quick, like did an excellent job. So I find anybody that's good at playing video games, multitasking while visually looking at a screen, it's the same thing as operating. It really is. You're looking out your front window. You got controls.
All kinds of controls.
And you're moving your hands at the same time while you're blowing snow. It's literally with the tablets in the cab and your controls. It literally, once you get it dialed in, it feels like you're in a video game. It does. Like you watch your percent go up on the screen as you finish driveways. They go from yellow to green. You're operating. You got the mic to talk to people. It's a video game. It feels like a video game. It does. I swear to God.
I love it, man.
It's way too much fun.
I think that's everything. I think we covered everything. Is there anything else you want to share?
No, unless you're gonna hammer me with that special 10 that you had, or
the special what? That's questions.
The 10 questions.
I gotta ask you the questions. Of course,
you're
I ask everybody the questions. You got away from singing because you drove quite the distance, which I really appreciate that you drove quite the distance, man, to get here.
8-hour drive to get here, man.
It's
actually
insane.
more because I had to go to.
We could have did a Zoom call, but you know that we talked about this. They're not as good as in person,
Are you
right?
crazy? I seen the studio.
Yeah.
You spent some good money and time on this. You're taking it very professionally. I was like, if this was 12 hours, I would have came.
Thanks,
so
man.
thank you for the opportunity.
Stephano Narducci here, Northern Snow Inc., www.northernsnow.ca, at northernsnow.inc on IG, and it's the number again for the, I got your cell number, but what's your number, the office number?
705-992-8222. And also don't forget to check me out, Stephano Narducci, on YouTube. I post a lot for our company on there. Obviously, go check out the business pages, but go check out Stephano Narducci. I got a pile of videos on YouTube. TikTok, Stephano Narducci. Instagram, Stephano Narducci.
Not under the Northern banner?
No, just under my personal name, personal brand. I got podcasts on there that I've done with other people. Myself.
I've seen them, yeah, because that's what I've seen them. And
I got the Narducci Show podcast up on Spotify and Apple Music. So
when do you find the time to do that?
I find the time here and there and again. I mean, the thing is going back to the whole crushing it, going back to my roots. I use social media to obviously get exposure in business, to get business. And then I kind of just like slept on it for a long time. I only used it for business purposes. And I was like, you know what? Every great entrepreneur out there is creating a personal brand for themselves, and they're talking about what they know. I go on there, I talk about what I know. What I know is
there isn't another you out there.
No. So
I know.
I went onto YouTube, started making videos last November, and here we are. You know, we're crushing it. Like if you go check out my my YouTube channel, we're just getting to around 3,000 on there.
Nice.
TikTok, I'm 11,000. Instagram, I'm getting to 3,000, and that's it. I don't really use Facebook too much. So
but it's actually working for you business wise. It's actually building
the amount of opportunity, the amount of people I'm meeting. Look. This one,
I know. It's just DM.
This would not be happening right now. If
you getting more people reach out to you for work through DMs or through emails or through phone calls?
DMs, phone calls,
it's
emails,
them,
all
right?
the above. Like the amount of leverage that has came to our business from me making a personal brand around my business it's been stupid.
That's huge.
I could sell equipment like very easily, right? Because I have such a following for the snow industry, especially this niche in particular.
Yeah.
So whenever I need to sell equipment, it's a breeze. I got people just always asking me, hey, you got anything for sale? Which is always great. That's awesome. I meet a lot of people that are way farther than me in this business model too. And learning from them for absolutely free, just because they found me through social media and want to talk, is incredible. Like you got to think about it. I'm extracting 10, 20 years of some of these guys' experience in this business and putting it into mine at $0 just because they found me on YouTube. Dude, you want to talk about fucking leverage, you know?
The way you grow is probably tenfold what a business of yours 10 years ago would have grown.
If it wasn't for social media, yes, we would be still pretty big. But if I didn't break through the social media, we wouldn't be as big as we are today. We wouldn't have as much skills and resources as we have today. And we just wouldn't have as much pull. Like even Kubota too. Like Kubota went above and beyond because I had a little bit of a presence in this particular niche, one of the only guys really. There's a couple other, but pretty much one of the only. And they seen that as opportunity for me to go out there and rep Kubota. Yep. And they set us up with crazy good pricing. Pronovo Cyclone, the blowers we have too, same thing again. They seen that.
Because they know every time you're going to post or share or talk or on the website, you're also inadvertently promoting them.
Moral of the story, it's just been an extremely amount of large leverage for our business.
You ain't tired, eh? You're not tired at all?
What?
Just doing all this shit?
Tired? No, man. I feel alive. Like I'm tired when I'm not doing business. That's when I'm tired. I feel like shit. I'm pissed off. You know, my girlfriend will look at me. I'll just start like getting mad at her about like everything just because I don't feel fulfilled. I'm not completing anything. I'm not working towards my goals. Like I need to be moving constantly. I need to be working at what I'm ambitious about. You know, that's where my heart thumps. I love the tough times too. I really do. Yeah.
'Cause it teaches you a lot.
You learn everything, man.
So
You
much.
learn everything. Like I honestly enjoy learning as much as I enjoy making money. It's one or the other. Business is one or the other. You're going to go, you're either going to make money or you're going to learn.
If you can find something that interests you and that you can do both, then embrace it to death, right? Simple as that.
You're going to have both, you know? It's inevitable.
You ready for these questions?
Hammer me, man.
What's your favorite construction word?
Construction word.
Yeah.
Excavator. It's my favorite piece of equipment.
What's your least favorite tool?
Hand tools. I hate hand tools.
Any hand tools?
Fuck hand tools. No. And I know you're all about that. Like put me in a machine. I'm not lazy by all means. Like I'd rather lay brick all day long than use power tools. I don't like power tools. But operating is where my heart's at. Like I love operating. Tractor,
So you're a
excavator,
video
skid.
gamer as well too then?
No, I didn't like.
Not
I played
really?
video games when I was extremely young, but I dropped them at about 14 years old. Yeah.
What construction sound do you love?
Oh man, any sort of diesel engine knocking, like especially a cold start. Oh, like, I don't know.
Man, the price of diesel today, huh?
Yeah. You know what's actually nice? We get to run all dyed in our tractors.
Okay,
Dyed diesel.
you're saving a bit. Then.
Yeah, because they're farm equipment, so you could legally run dyed in them. We did our research, so we get to run all dyed, which saves us, 36 machines. Man, we're filling up. You know, when it snows, we're filling up 2,000 gallons a week on a big storm, right? So, yeah, like the dyed diesel is definitely expensive, but at least we get a little bit cheaper than regular.
What's your favorite beverage?
Alcohol.
Anything, any beverage.
Ooh. Well, lately I've been breaking into the Hugo Spritz. I like the Hugo Spritzers, any sort of white wine spritzer. I love a margarita. I like anything with tequila. And then, I like a cold beer too.
Does everybody book vacations after the season or what? Like you guys go to the beach or something like that?
We went to Mexico one year, me and my partner, my girlfriend, one of my good buddies I grew up with. But no, not too much traveling, man. I'm putting every single last dollar into this company. I don't got too much left to travel.
Just grow it.
Grow it.
Yeah. What turns you on and off in construction?
On and off. I think probably something that turns me on is watching a development start and then finish, that's probably one of the most satisfying feelings in construction possible is watching it go from just blueprints to real life. That's crazy. That's incredible. It's admirable, to be honest.
What turns you off?
What turns me off? And this is no offense to anybody. I would just say some of the people, the way they carry themselves, the trades are so well paid nowadays. Yep. You don't need to look like you just came out of a dumpster.
Yeah. I have a little bit of pride.
I don't care that you smoke cigarettes or you pack a lip or whatever the case might be. Sure, that's fine. I used to smoke cigarettes too. I really enjoyed it. But the fact that it looks like you haven't brushed your teeth in over 10 years, but yet you're getting paid $50, $60 an hour and you smell like shit, you look like shit. Man, don't ruin the trade.
Step up a bit.
Step up. You don't have to look like that. So that's one thing that pisses me off. I wish guys presented themselves better in the trade.
You're right. What word do you find overused these days?
Overused. I don't know. That's a tough one. Overused. What do you find overused?
Anything that's associated with wokeism, anything with bullshit, inclusivity, crap shit like that, or any of that crap. I'm
so in my own bubble. I'm in my own world. So I really don't pay attention too much what's going on around me.
What's your favorite curse word?
Fuck. All day long.
What's your favorite vehicle in the entire world?
Favorite vehicle in the entire world? I mean, I got a couple picks if that's okay. As you could tell, all my questions has been a couple things. I I'd probably say if I had to choose and I had all the money in the world, I'd definitely pick like a Bugatti Pure Sport, like the one like Andrew Tate drives. And then my second choice would probably be like a real deal LaFerrari, not the one with the big racing mirrors. I don't like that. Like the real deal traditional LaFerrari. And then I don't know if you've seen like the new FS90 Stradales Spider drop top.
No.
It's like the new hot Ferrari out right now.
Okay.
Kind of like.
Oh wait, no, I have seen
FS90.
it. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Not Daytona. Is it? No.
FS90 Stradale.
It's bringing back the grills from the Testarossa days, right? In the back.
I'm not quite sure. I'm not really a car enthusiast, but
Yeah.
I just like.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
But that was a one-off. Like that. Like there's only a handful of those ones that they're making.
For a LaFerrari, I think there's only 300 in the world, and then the Bugatti Pure Sports, I think there's like 30 or 50 in the world. But as for the FS90 Stradale, I've seen a couple rolling around Toronto.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they're like big money. I think for the drop top, it's like $1 million. Yeah.
What do you miss from your childhood? What do you miss from last week, man?
Last week.
You're a kid.
Oh man. Fuck.
What do you miss from your childhood?
Don't get me like that. I don't feel
No. What do you miss from your childhood?
What do I miss from my childhood? Double answer question again. There's two things. I definitely miss my Italian culture with my family. We still have it, but like when my
It
nonna,
changes as you get older.
yeah, when my nonna was alive on my mom's side and when my nonna was alive on my dad's side, there's something about the woman in the Italian family, especially the nonna, the grandmother. They bring everybody together.
Yeah.
They cook for everyone. They get everyone together as a family. And once she dies out of the family, it gets very difficult. There's got to be somebody else who might need to step up to the plate for that to be able to happen.
And they usually don't.
And they don't, right? So I miss my Italian culture big time in that way. We still have it, but not as core as it was when they were alive. Second thing is, just being young, not having a worry in the world, getting home from school, parking my ass on the couch, microwaving 2 lean cuisines or Macalenas or whatever the hell it was. I was a fat young boy. And putting them in the microwave, cooking my microwave dinners because I didn't know how to cook.
That was like perfect.
It's perfect, man. Parking my ass, hopping on the mic, and just playing video games all night long.
That's funny.
Like, come on. There was nothing better than that, right?
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt one day?
I'm very focused and very driven on doing one thing and one thing only. So I will be working on this for a very long time.
There's
but
still a lot of growth in this, man.
Lots of growth. We got lots of big plans with this business model. A lot of things we're still trying to figure out. But I don't know, man.
If you ain't problem solving, you're not growing.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah. Like I said, I love to learn. I really do. I would probably say like real estate, like I would love to learn more about real estate, whether it be like from the construction developing side or actually just the investing side. I own a small amount of real estate with my partner, Nick, nothing crazy, but some doors back home in Sault Ste. Marie, and it's awesome to see the compounding in that. But like, I would actually like to learn like the game of like heavy real estate investing, buying big buildings, fixing them up, refinancing them, selling them, getting renters in, like playing the whole game of real estate in depth.
It's coming. What profession do you not want to do?
Like if I had to pick one I wouldn't want to do? Ooh.
There's lots out there. There's lots of possibles, but is there one thing that you would not want to do?
Like this is no disrespect to anybody watching all, and I hope nobody's in.
No, don't worry. You're not going to offend anybody.
I think the worst profession in the goddamn world has got to be being a teacher.
It's tough.
Well, I just don't agree with the educational system that we're, forcing on these kids. It's bullshit. It's bullshit.
I agree with you.
What's getting taught out there is bullshit.
Yeah, I agree with you.
It is. Like, I'm talking like elementary all the way to like grade 12. Yeah, when you go into college and you go learn how to do plumbing. Okay, now that's a valuable teacher. You go learn how to do construction or maybe business. That's a little bit different. But like what they teach you from, when you walk into school to when you exit in grade 12, like way too much bullshit.
Yeah.
Way too much bullshit.
The Rockefeller bullshit.
Yeah.
Last question. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at those pearly gates?
I'd imagine I'd probably be older and, a lot of my family would be dead. So I'm hoping that Lord Jesus Christ would, show me back my family, and I'm hoping everybody to be nice and healthy and good spirit, and yeah, just say, hey, welcome back to your family, something like that. That'd be pretty nice, right? I think that's all of our
That's
dream.
all. I think that's the majority.
I think
of what
when we
people
all
would
die,
want,
we
right?
just want to be able to see everybody that was a big part of our life, and see them reborn and rebirth in their best outfit, their best looking self. That's what it says in the Bible, I'm pretty sure. I think so anyways, is that we all get reborn, go to heaven, and we're all in our best age and our best point in life where we're the healthiest, apparently.
Man, absolute pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so much,
Thank
man.
you so much.
You're
This was
welcome back
awesome.
anytime. If you want to come back and bring Nick back or bring everybody back.
100%.
Or, I don't know. You can always come back during the summer months so you don't have to worry about it, unless you're getting knee deep in a whole other division
This
of
is
Northern,
a perfect
right?
time to get me. Most busiest time of the year, but perfect time to get me because
I know we lucked out because I know you gave me the heads up that if snow was coming that you might not be coming down, but I appreciate you coming down and doing the trek and getting out here, and this has been a great conversation. And I like a lot of shows lately, been having a lot of young guys on the show and just sharing a lot of valuable tips, man. Like the older guys are listening to these, like, where are these kids coming from, man? But there's a good bunch of you guys out there, which is great. So
speed, man, everything's
lots
getting
of
quicker.
respect, lots of respect for what you built, man. Honestly, it's
Thank
good,
you.
and it's going to continue to grow. I'll be paying attention. It's going to continue growing.
No, let's keep in touch. We'll do another one for sure.
Yeah.
But thank you for having me here.
Thanks, man.
Like, this place is beautiful. You got a real deal studio. It's my first time ever being in a real deal podcast studio. Seeing the whole operation of what you got going on in here is awesome.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
All right, everyone, check them out again. Northern Snow Inc. www.northernsnow.ca and on IG at northernsnow.inc. And then your email to get a hold of you.
Stephano at northernsnow.ca. That's Stefano at northernsnow.ca.
That's it. We're done, man. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Angelina. We're out of here.